Hello, welcome to Rogue Mother Rising. I'm a mother of a 40-year-old intellectually, developmentally disabled son. I had to make this channel because of some stuff I figured out last summer, and I've been using ChatGPT to help me write my scripts. So that's why I'm reading them, but if the script doesn't say what I want to say, I don't read these scripts. So I reported a situation involving adults with developmental disabilities being taken to a sexually oriented venue, and every agency I contacted told me it was allowed. I didn't hear this secondhand. I made the calls. I followed the process. And if this truly meets the standards of care in Oregon, then we need to have a serious conversation about how vulnerable adults are protected. This isn't about judging adult choices. This is about power, consent, and safety, and whether people who rely on caregivers are being influenced into situations they may not fully understand or feel free to refuse. Because when a caregiver suggests an activity, it doesn't land the same way as when a peer does. I want to be very clear. I did not go straight to social media. I contacted them first and told them I thought it was a terrible idea. And I contacted Adult Protective Services, I contacted DHS, I contacted the Ombudsman, and I contacted law enforcement. Every response I received was some version of, "There's no rule that explicitly says this can't happen." And I could practically feel them all rolling their eyes at the old ableist mother calling to complain. Jeez. And that answer is exactly the problem. Because care standards are not just about what's technically allowed, they're about what is appropriate when there's a power imbalance, and when the people involved are vulnerable adults who depend on staff for housing, transportation, daily support. In this situation, staff promoted an outing to what Oregon law classifies as a sexually oriented business. Later in this video, I'll name the type of venue plainly. But first, it's important to understand the framework that governs group homes for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. What Oregon rules actually say. Oregon rules emphasize dignity, choice, and community inclusion, and that's important. But they also require providers to ensure health, safety, and welfare, and to avoid coercion, exploitation, or abuse. Activities are supposed to be person-centered, meaning they come from the individual's goals, not the staff's interests. And they're supposed to be documented in an individualized support plan with risks assessed and consent clearly established. That ISP is the one that I talked about in some of my other videos, that the place that they were going to, I guess they never asked for an ISP. Well, I was going to sign him into the new place, but they said that they wouldn't let him go in without an ISP. And my brokerage says that they never give the ISP out. My own personal opinion is anybody working with them should have the ISP. How else do they know what they're doing? This is a huge catastrophic mess from the top. These people are trained wrong. The power imbalance explained. Here's what often gets ignored. When a staff member suggests something, especially publicly, clients may feel pressure to say yes, not because they want to, but because staff control transportation, staff control access to the community, staff writes reports, staff decides who's cooperative. That's not equal footing. The Facebook post issue, the key moment. In this case, the concern escalated when a public Facebook post was made inviting members of the community to join staff and clients on this outing. That introduces strangers, alcohol, sexualized environments, and it removes privacy and dignity from people who already face increased risk of exploitation. Say it plainly. Oh, this is the part I gotta say plain. To be clear, The venue is to be clear, the venue being promoted was a strip club. And the concern isn't that adults exist in the world. The concern is who initiated this, how it was promoted, and who was being influenced. Why it's legal is not enough. I was repeatedly told there is no rule that says that they can't. But absence of prohibition is not permission. To abandon professional boundaries. Oregon recognizes that adults with disabilities have sexual rights and that they face a significantly higher risk of sexual abuse. Those two truths must be held at the same time. I'm not accusing any individual of a crime. I am saying the system has failed to take reasonable concerns seriously. If the standard is anything not explicitly forbidden is acceptable, then the safeguards meant to protect vulnerable adults are dangerously weak. I'm sharing this publicly because quiet reporting did not work. Families deserve clarity. Clients deserve dignity. Staff deserves clear boundaries. If you care about disability rights, adult protection, or ethical caregiving, this conversation needs to happen openly, responsibly, and without intimidation. Thank you for listening. So, yeah, thank you for listening. I believe I said on my other video that the congressional hearing for the Minnesota stuff is going to be happening on the 7th. That's tomorrow. I got to go back and look. I can't remember for sure if it was the 7th. Welcome to my new subscribers. I've been going around. Well, I've been a part of the Facebook groups for special needs parents, all different kinds, the really severe, the autism, the severe autism, the TikTok autism. And I've been following all that for a while because I've seen something's weird. Why is all of a sudden having a disability the best thing since sliced bread? And anyways, being disabled has been, it's the DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. DEI goes way too far. When it stands for taking people like my son, a developmentally disabled adult, to a strip club with a group announced on Facebook. I have a problem with that. I can't remember what I was talking about. Any case, yeah, I'll probably do a video about that congressional hearing. So, boy, that's going to be a big day. And we're getting a new dryer. So it'll be a great day. We've been without a dryer for about a week. Today is January 6th, 2026. And I'll see you next time. Please join my channel. I don't know how we're going to get this fixed because I understand they have rights. I want them to have rights. But I do not think the rights should be in paid care providers to take them to strip clubbing as a group activity. Bye.